Yo. Welcome into the WNBA stream, man. WNBA ChrisBeCappinn Show. If you guys were with me just a few minutes ago on the NBA show, we broke down the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks game 6 in the Garden. Now we have the WNBA. And real quick, I probably should have linked this, and I will. I'll link it in the description, but I didn't, make a graphic for it. But I did go through as I talked about, wanting to do and going to do, and broke down every single team. Kind of gave you guys my expectations. So just key off-season notes about every team, the philosophy of every team, the injuries, the new additions as far as coach and management and players and betting markets. It's a lot to unpack in that video. I also put it in chapters for people as well. So if you're interested in checking out that stream, make sure you go back and check out the one that was posted last night. It's under the video link that's in the description on the YouTube channel. So check that out. Last season we were up. I want to say it wasn't like a ton. It wasn't a ton. We had some winners, but I didn't bet big. I'm not a big unit size better, specifically at the beginning of the season. We need data points in order to bet these games, in my opinion, to have a big advantage for profit, in my opinion. At least that's the way that I bet. So we don't have any data points. We're just kind of talking these games out. We got 3 games. We'll talk about all of them. But yeah, let's jump into it for today, man. I'm super excited. Playback is something that I will be doing for the WNBA as well. If you've tuned into the NBA stream, you know that I talk about playback often. I don't get on playback often, but I talk about playback often. I will be utilizing it for the W. There is a game probably on Saturday. I think I'm gonna go live for the early game on Saturday. It'll be the New York Liberty will be at home, and they'll be hosting the Las Vegas Aces. Super excited to see that game. It's going to be one of the better games, I think, in the W to start the season. So I will be probably going live for that game. It's a 1:00 Eastern Standard Time game on Saturday. So catch me on Playback. The link is in the description. Of course, it's super free. And if I end up making any live bets, then I'll share them with you guys, and it'll be live analysis as well. Some good vibes in there also. So yeah, check me out over on Playback, man. Link, like I said, is in the description of the video. And let's jump into the matchup for today, man. So we got 3 of them on the board. The first one is the Minnesota Lynx and the Minnesota Lynx and the Dallas Wings. This line is now, sitting at 5.5 right now. So I talked about the Minnesota Lynx and how I think that they're going to be on an absolute tear this season. It's a redemption year for them. Of course, they got to the championship last season. Probably should have ended up winning the finals, but some things didn't go their way. Some foul calls specifically against the New York Liberty. They've retooled this team. They have one of the highest win totals on the board for this season. I think if I had to bet their win total, proverbial gun to my head, I would take it over. The Dallas Wings are going to be much improved, in my opinion, also. But this was one of the worst teams in the WNBA last season. They finished with the 2nd worst record behind the Los Angeles Sparks. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of success from them early. I think it's going to take a while for them to gel. Yesterday, when I was, let me just pull this up real quick. So yesterday, when I was talking about these teams, and like I said, check out that video because it's a lot more in depth than this video will be. Or at least the handicap on this game. I was talking about the Wings and, them getting Paige Becker. She's going to be, in my opinion, somebody that's going to help the team out a lot. You also bring in Dejanay Carrington from Connecticut. She's also going to help the team defensively. Tierra McCowan returns. Odyssey Sims is still there. Of course, Rike Gumbawale going to be ready to shoot the ball at all times as well. Odyssey Sims is not there. I'm sorry. Odyssey Sims is not there. Odyssey Sims is in LA. But I do think that, the Wings are going to be good. This line specifically for this game, though, opened with the Dallas Wings getting, I want to say it was 7. Yeah, 7 points was the line. The total open 165.5 is down to 163. Tell you guys, I think the Wings get smoked at home to start the season. I think the Lynx I think they're absolutely on a revenge tour. I haven't bet it yet because I just want to see where the market goes. I don't agree with the line coming down from 7 to 5.5. So we'll see where the line goes. This is one that, if this touches 5, I'll be on Minnesota. I do think that they start the season off well. They return pretty much all of their players. Xander Sealy is in Golden State playing for the Valkyries. and then Yorka Duhas is going to be out for the season for personal reasons. But outside of that, like the Minnesota Lynx, they will bring everybody back outside, and Misha Hans Island, of course, is gone too. So I don't agree with this line coming down. I would only be looking towards the Minnesota Lynx minus the 5 here. Let's see if you guys have any thoughts about it. What up, prestigious prodigy? Justin says long time no see. What up, I love us? Marquis says back to back like Drake. Great morning, community. The ladies are back in town. What up, user? Good morning, Fredo. Cash Guy says, what's good, Chris? Haven't seen you in a minute. Excited to tell what you got going on in the WNBA. Let's get to it, man. Daryl says, run them likes up. Appreciate you for tapping in again, Daryl. Let's see. Bet at your own risk says, we're back. Word. Came in at the end of the NBA stream. Let's see what wins we can get tonight in the season opener. Absolutely. Fredo says he's new to the W, but thinking Paige Becker's over 14.5 points. I actually didn't even go through and look at her player props, if I'm being honest. I looked at a few player props. I did not look at Paige Becker's player props specifically in this game, though. Let's go through and look at some of those numbers. I think that's about right, though. I think 14.5. Also, the other thing to consider here, Fredo, is how good the Dallas Wings are. The Minnesota Lynx are on the defensive end. This was, I think, the number 1 defensive team in the WNBA last season. I do expect the Wings to play with pace, but 14.5 probably is about right. 14.5. Let's see real quick. Paige Becker's 14.5. She's actually up to 16.5 is plus 130 on ESPN Bet right now is what I see also. Let's see. We'll get to the other game in just a second. Bet at your own risk. He says, I took the Lynx over their team total at 84.5. Think they're 3-1 to the over, even though they managed 76.4 points in the last 5 games of the season. Yeah, that was the playoffs, though. They were playing against the other best defensive team, which was the New York Liberty last season as well. G421 says, my second season of the W, Chris. Start following the W because of you, bro. Ended up watching the whole season, laugh out loud. Matter of fact, Lynx should have won, Chris. That was a foul on. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Lynx revenge for sure, and I think they take their revenge out, in this game specifically. So I agree with you, G421. McBride is back with the team. Yeah, I think she is back, Jay. She is back. I didn't see her name didn't pop up on the injury report. Put it that way. I did check the injury report. No McBride to start the season. I didn't see that, Dante. Let me know where you guys saw that, because I did not see that Kayla McBride was going to be missing. Matter of fact, let's go check it real quick. I can go double check that real quick. Let's just double check it really quickly. Lineup. All right, here we go. All right, so the Minnesota Lynx, Kayla McBride is out. I did not see that, and I'm glad I didn't bet this game. She won't be with the team. She is out. I did not see that. Shout out to Dante for sharing that in the chat. Elena Smith is also looked like she's going to be listed as game time decision, considered more doubtful. Maybe that's why the spread came down. I didn't bet the game. Elena Smith does mean a lot to the team. Kayla McBride means a lot to the team. Still got Natisha Heidemann out there. I think the other thing that's going to be a struggle for the Dallas Wings is their ball security. This was a team that turned the ball over a lot last season. Enrique Agumbawale, they struggle to have a true point guard. I do think that even while Paige Beckers will be great, I think she's going to struggle to adjust to the physicality of the WNBA early in the season as well. So we'll see. They do have Alyssa Smith. I'm not too high on, but we'll see how well she plays. On the opposite side, it looks like I'm seeing Ty Harris listed as game time decision, but she's more probable for the Dallas Wings as well. Shout out to Dante for mentioning that, though, because I didn't look at that. DJ Pop says Lynx will be one of the best defensive teams this season. Absolutely, they will. Absolutely. Good morning, Miranda. Appreciate you tapping in. Feel like I haven't seen you in quite a while. Good morning, Mark. Chad said he got wings +8, so he's on the opposite side and took the wings and got a really good number. Okay. Be my girl MVP. I think if I had to bet it, I talked about it last night. It would be MVP. My MVP would be Fee too. I think you can get her at +300. Was the best number that I saw. I didn't bet it though. Call you over her points. Elena Smith to get 10 points. Adam says. What up, Mitchell? Appreciate you for tapping in. Yeah, she is out. I did see that. Appreciate you, Chad. Dogs are barking. Only fave I took was Dream -3.5, and that's definitely gone. So let's get over to that next game. So Dream Mystics. This one is up to. I want to say I saw it this morning at 8. I'm sorry, no, 7.5 is what I saw there. Let me just see if there's been any movement on this line. Yeah, 7.5 now. So this line is even the 6.5, and I put these graphics in last night. Is gone. So yesterday, so let's start with the injury report for this one. Jordan Canada is out. Let me just double check real quick. So Jordan Canada is out for Atlanta. She got hurt in that preseason game. Knee injury. She's going to be evaluated reassessed in 2 weeks. Shakira Austin is also out. These injuries came out yesterday. Leah Edwards is out, and that's why this line started to move a lot. Also, Georgia Amore, she is also done for the season after getting hurt even before the preseason started. She got hurt in practice with an ACL injury. She's going to miss the entire season. She was one of their top 5 picks. I think Mystics had 2 top 5 picks. So when I look at Atlanta. When I look at the Mystics, stay with the Mystics, they are already being hit by the injury bug. Shakira Austin, for people who don't know, is one of the better centers in the WNBA. Offensively, she's pretty good, but defensively, she means a lot. And I think that's why the spread has moved. Aaliyah Edwards also came into her own, especially in Unrivaled. She absolutely killed it in Unrivaled, especially in the one-on-one tournament. You could tell she's put a lot of work into her game as well. So I do think, the Mystics should be on the up and up a little bit this season. Their win total was right at where it was last season. It's about the same, but they do get 4 more games, so the books are anticipating them to be a little bit better. The Atlanta Dream, though, they go out, they get Bree Jones from Connecticut. They go out, they get Brittany Griner coming from Phoenix, and they are anticipated to be, a really good team. You still got Alicia Gray. It was kind of interesting that they cut Haley Jones. I thought that she would make the team, but you still got Maya Caldwell down there. Cheyenne Parker-Tyus, of course, is in Vegas now. I do think Atlanta is the better team between these two. If I had to bet the game, because this line has moved so far, like Chad said, you got a 3.5. I didn't even see 3.5, but if I had to bet the game, I would bet over. I do think that it's going to be played with pace. If you watched the video from yesterday, I talked about, and this total did move too. It opened 153.5. It's up to 157.5 on some books, but I think it's still some 157s out there. I think the game's gonna be played really, really fast. Atlanta has emphasized this, like positionless basketball. Like, it's not gonna surprise me to see Brittany Griner and Bree Jones out there shooting three-pointers. They want to play positionless. They want to play fast. The Washington Mystics, they mentioned wanting to get their shots up in 8 seconds. Kind of remind me a lot of, D'Antoni in the NBA world. They want to play super fast, get up and down the floor. I do think players like Big Mama Steph are going to be able to stretch the floor, bring Brittany Griner outside so that some of those guards can, score the basketball. You still got Jade Melbourne. Like, they still got Brittany Sykes. So the Mystics will be a feisty team. I think if you like the Mystics, you maybe want to play them early. They've been historically, at least since I've been capping the W over the last 2.5, 3 years, they've been a team that, plays well early in games. We'll see if their trend continues. But if I'm betting this game, I do like it up and over. I think it'll be played with a lot of pace. I think we see north of 160 points in this game. So I would be playing over before I play anything else in this game, especially given that the line has moved all the way to 7.5 in favor of the Atlanta Dream. Let's see what we have here. Phoenix is my favorite WNBA team. I just like their logo. Oh man. Justin says, I have a dream. Okay, so Justin like his dream. Yeah, the Dream should win this game. They absolutely should, man. Lando says he took Dream first half, -3.5, -4, or Atlanta first half team total over. I couldn't talk you off. First half over makes a ton of sense as well, especially if the game slows down in the second half, which we've seen the Mystics. They are prone to having a 7 or 8 or 9 point quarter. If if you're new to the W, these teams don't score. They don't shoot the ball as efficiently from the 3-point line. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next game. So we got the last game on the board for today, which is the Sparks and the Valkyries. So the Sparks looks like they anticipated to start Odyssey Sims at the 2, which makes sense because then you can still have Ray Burrell come off the bench. But they do add Kelsey Plum coming over from Vegas. You still got De'Erica Hamby and Azare Stevens, Rakia Jackson. Cameron Brink is going to be out, I think, through June, or at least until June. She might come back. She's, of course, rehabbing the injury that took her out for the rest of the season, pretty early in her WNBA career last season. But this will be a sophomore year. The Sparks were the worst team in the WNBA last season, and the Valkyries were not in the WNBA last season. This will be their inaugural season, of course. When I went back and I was looking at this Valkyries lineup, they lack a lot of depth. But they do have some vets, right? You got Tip Hayes coming over from Vegas, Julie Van Loo coming over from the Mystics, Kayla Thornton coming over from the New York Liberty, Timmy Fong Bagley, who I loved last season for the Indiana Fever when she was on the floor. She brings a toughness, a defense, a rebounding presence. And then you got Mo Billings. So to me, this team kind of feels like, I'm not going to call them the rejects because they're not, but it feels like when I think about, Monique Billings and Fong Bagley, I kind of feel like these are the players that are overlooked. I think that this Valkyries team, who does have the lowest season win total on the board, I think it opened at 7.5. It's up to 8.5 now. But I think that they are going to play really, really hard, right? You still got, Kate Martin off the bench. Xander Silly is going to be out. She's not going to make her appearance with the team tonight. Stephanie Talbot is also out. So as much as I want to play, initially my thought process was, all right, I understand the Sparks are a better team. I do think the Sparks are a better team. Sparks won like 8 games last season. I think their season win total was like 20.5. So the books are expecting the market are expecting the Sparks to be a lot better. I think the Sparks will be a lot better as long as they can stay healthy. I like the additions. I like Odyssey Sims. But then at the same time, I'm like, can I lay 7 points on the road with a team that won 8 games last season? I kind of feel like they're going to have to show me. I kind of feel like the Valkyries at home, this will be their season opener, first time playing in the history of their program at the crib. I kind of feel like they're the right side. I want to take the points with the Valkyries. This opened, I think, at 7.5, and it's now come down to 6.5. I would be betting on the Valkyries in this spot. I think that I would be moving with the line. 7.5 is where it opened. It's down to all the way down to 6 I see a 6 on the book. So I do think that these are also 2 teams that I don't trust defensively. The only concern, I do think both of these teams will play fast as well. My only concern with the total is that do the Valkyries have enough offense from key players to be able to get this one up and over the total? That's what scares me a little bit. But I still want to get there on over, or I want to get there on Valkyries. I do think it's going to be, played at a pretty fast pace. I think this would be a nice little in-state rivalry as well with the Sparks and the Valkyries. Both of these teams being in California, of course. I want to get there with the Valkyries, man. I've thought about this one long and hard. I missed the best of the number, of course, but I want to get there with the Valkyries, and I also think that the game could potentially go over. So those would be my recommendations for this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Let's see. So Chad says, don't think any of these numbers I got are available. Aces +5, Wings +8, Dreams Dreams -3.5, Sky +7.5, Valkyries +7, and Storm +2.5 for tomorrow, which I did make a play in that Storm game tomorrow versus the Phoenix Mercury as well. Mitchell says Valkyries could win this game straight up. I took the points with Golden State. I don't know if they can win. Like, I don't want to underestimate the Sparks, but I will say this. I went through and I was listening to their coach, because both of these teams, of course, have new coaches. The coach from the Valkyries comes over from the Aces, and then the coach for the Sparks, I think she coached collegiately. Forgot what she coached at, but she has some coaching experience. I was listening to the post game to the media availability, and she was giving me some hesitation that made me think like, will the Sparks even win? Like she I think she was just trying to be realistic, like saying like, we're gonna have our good days, we're gonna have our bad days, and I'm thinking to myself like, there's no way I'm about to lay 8 points with a team that has not played that won 8 games, a team that was the worst team in the WNBA. I think it's a super buy low spot for the Valkyries. Nobody knows how good they actually are. You kind of assess their roster. They did go into Phoenix and win a game in the preseason as well. I think they lost the first one, but then they won the second one. Like I said, I kind of want to be on the Valkyries. I don't know if they can win the game straight up, Mitchell, but I agree. I think the Valkyries are the right side. Chad says Sparks are not a lay 7 on the road type of team. Have to take the newbies, and I absolutely agree. Mish says he grabbed Odyssey Sims 10 points at plus 130. Couldn't talk you off of that. Go Sparks, Lover says. Adam says he likes the over 162. I would be leaning that way as well. Timeout Sports says Golden State will be terrible. They don't have a star player. That's the one thing that really sticks out to me. Like when I think about, players that can take over a game, when I look at the Sparks, you got De'Erica Hamby. Azurá Stevens, I think, is super underrated. Ray Burrell, Rickea Jackson, like they have, the shiny toys. The Valkyries gonna have to win with grit and grind and effort and commitment on the defensive end, because I don't think that they're gonna be able to score the basketball that efficiently. When I look at their starting rotation, I just don't see it. And then they also, I forgot who they cut, but they cut somebody that I thought should have been, still been a part of the team as well. Can't remember exactly who they cut. There's so many cuts happening over the last 2 days in the WNBA. Let's see. Fraser says fading the Sparks 50-50. Give me the points. I'm with you there. What up, 3 times? Just good morning. Happy Friday. Dirty Rig says them Sparks got the most loaded roster in the league. I would disagree, Dirty Rig. I don't think they got the most loaded roster, but they do got some talent for sure. They got some talent. They even got the girl from South Carolina that's gonna be coming off their bench, and I think she's gonna be nice for him too. That plays, I think she'll play backup center for him. G421 says, do I run the Sparks first half from last season? They were good in the first half, G421. This is, you got to get some data points though. This is a new team, new coaching staff. No, man, I don't know. Dante says Valkyries early. I have no idea what to do with earlies, Dante. I think when it's all said and done, I don't think they're gonna lose by 7 though. That's what would be what I would be playing. DJ says he likes Kelsey Plum. 21.5 seems too high for a season opener. Sparks should have Rickea Jackson using a lot of usage, right? I think so. I'm just interested to see, because you got Rickea, you got Ray Burrell coming off the bench. You also got, like I said, Azurá Stevens, who I'm really high on. De'Erica Hamby there. Like I want to see what the usage looks like, because now you add Kelsey Plum. She's going to be the point guard in my opinion. There's also going to be looking for a shot, but I'm interested to see how I will be locked into this game, seeing how it plays out tonight for sure. Love it says, Chris, did you see the lady with the nah, but I know that they are hype. Like they are super hype in in the Bay Area, for the Valkyries for sure. Yeah, I'm with Chad. That don't go together though. Jay says he'll go Valkyries money line, no ego and better team chemistry in my opinion. I don't know if I say better team chemistry when they all just got together. At least the Sparks were together last season. G421 likes Rickea Jackson over 14.5 points. Landon says he took Valkyries in their first preseason game. Think that they played the Sparks. They played LA spread, was plus 7.5 pre-game, I believe. They were down 15-6, 15-16 at that point. Only lost the game by 3. They have hard in my opinion. And I agree. They also, these two teams did play in the preseason. I think the game was 84-83. I mean, of course, some of those players will be gone. The rotations will be tighter as well. But I do agree. I'm glad you mentioned that. The other thing that makes me think about this is if anybody had a chance to watch the Valkyries play against the Mercury, granted it's preseason, but they got down in that game, came back and won that one as well. I think the Valkyries going to be gritty for sure. I do think that they'll be gritty. What's up, Antonio? What up, Dirt? Like Sparks team total over, Marquis says. Okay. If I had to bet them, this is how I would bet them. I haven't bet any of them. I did make my first official WNBA bet for tomorrow, though. It's a spot that I absolutely love. I sent it out to the members yesterday. But Minnesota minus the 5.5 is what I would be on. Even with the news coming out, I just think that they're going to be the much better team in my opinion. We'll see where the line goes to, because as it comes down, like Chad said, he got a +8. As it comes down, I'll look to fade the Dallas Wings at the crib. Even at the crib, I think that I fade them here. Atlanta and Washington, I would bet over. The 156.5 is gone, but you can still get a 150. Well, 156.5 is still available right now. It looks like on one book, but 157 looks like it's consensus. And then I would be on Golden State plus the 6.5. I'm not laying points with the worst team from the WNBA last season. Valkyries at the crib as well. I think you do take the home dog. Out of all three, if I had to make one, I do think the Valkyries are probably my favorite play today. I think they're my favorite play. Atlanta, Washington, maybe even a first half over is how it would look. But again, bet responsibly, man. Like, don't be jumping out here, going super crazy. We have no data points for these teams outside of the 2 WNBA games that they played. Some of them didn't even play against other WNBA players. The rotations have changed. Like, just be careful, man. Be careful with what it is that you like and what it is that you're betting today. And we'll be live again tomorrow as well, going through the games for tomorrow as well, man. So best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are betting. Same resources are available, for betting the W. Matter of fact, JaXon likes Minnesota minus the 5.5. I forgot to share this earlier. JaXon likes Minnesota minus 5.5. JaXon also likes Dallas and Washington over the 156. And just real quick on the analysis, it says that the Dream under new coach Carl Skimsko, I think is how you pronounce his name, are expected to play a much more efficient offensive style, focusing on layups and three-pointers. Ryan Howard, who finished 4th in the league in three-point attempts last season, is projected to see an increase in volume and efficiency. The Mystics, with Brittany Sykes and Shakira Austin, who is not healthy, also bring improved offensive firepower. Both teams cleared their team total in preseason. And with starters playing extended minutes in the regular season opener, this game is likely to be high scoring. So JaXon likes the over. I like the over in that Atlanta and Washington game as well, especially with the line moving from the 3.5 that it's moved from already. So yeah, man, be with me all season. We're gonna get through all of these WNBA games. Hopefully we have another profitable season. And if I do make any plays for today, I'll send it out to the members. But like I said, my favorite play for tomorrow, already locked it in, thinking about adding another one. We'll see how it goes though, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you guys are betting. Like I said, happy WNBA day, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.